Hey there. I just got my concealed carry permit in the mail, and I want to tell you what I learned in the process of getting it. That's what's coming up next. Welcome back to 22 Short Thursday, the more casual edition of Get on Target with Link. Today I'm talking about my experience in applying for and getting my concealed carry permit. The process was rather silly, and I'm going to go through it. I want to preface this by saying this is specific to my state. This may not apply to your state. You've got to look into the laws and regulations and requirements that your state has put in place for concealed carry permission. So take a look at that and find out if this applies to you. But this is what happened to me. So I decided to get my concealed carry license. And I found out that first thing that you had to do was you had to pass an educational component in order to get your permit. So I looked into those classes, and those classes are frequently offered at gun range, big gun ranges and so forth. And you can go through a classroom setting educational experience and learn about concealed carry. Well, those were booked. The waiting lists were very, very long. So I looked into the second option, which was taking the class online. What I found out was there were a dozen different companies that had formed to provide this educational experience online. So I found one that seemed legitimate, and it was, and I signed up for it, $50, and I cleared out some time so that I could settle in and concentrate on what I was doing and pay attention, and I began the class. 40 minutes later, I was holding my completion certificate in my hands from my printer. That's the length of time it took me to complete the course and take the test and become educationally certified for the concealed carry permit. From there, I had to go down to the circuit court and apply. We'll get to that in a minute. But the course was moronically simple. It was worthless. It wasn't entirely worthless. I learned the basics of the laws of concealed carry in my state, the do's and don'ts, etc. And I had to learn those, and then I had to take a final exam. When I took the final exam, I had to get an 80% on it in order to pass. Prior to taking the final exam, you were offered a practice exam, which I took and found quite easy. Maybe you won't. That's different for everybody. But after having gone through the course, it seemed very simple to me and passed it. And I felt confident to go on and take the final exam, so I did. When I took the final exam, what I found was the final exam was exactly the same exam I had just taken as a practice exam. The questions were identical, verbatim, the same questions that I had just taken. On top of that, the answers were exactly the same answers that I had just seen, and in the exact same order that they had been for the practice exam. Had I somehow managed to fail that final exam, which I think would be a challenge, I was able to take it again and again and again until I attained 80% on that exam. I submit to you, there's not a functional person in the country that can feed themselves that would not pass that test. Now, for some people, that's a great thing, and for others, it's a disaster. That's a political position. I will not take one here. All I will tell you is that the people that find it a great imposition that their Second Amendment rights are infringed upon by having to take a test to carry one in public, they're disappointed that they have to take a test. But the good news is, it's so stupid, it's like not having to take one at all. For the people that want to have a stringent test so that people are competent to carry a weapon in a public place, they are equally disappointed because there is no competency that is ultimately required by this educational component of getting your concealed carry permit. Everybody's disappointed. Nobody gets what they want. No one is served, and the whole process is sort of silly. What happens is you spend $50 to a private company, and you spend $50 at the circuit court to apply, and $100 gets circulated into the economy, and everybody gets their license. And it looks like this. So, the circuit court warned me that after my application to just forget that I had applied, because it was going to take a very long time for me to get it, because the number of applicants had exploded, and that was slowing the process down dramatically. I applied in June, and I just got it in the mail. It took so long, I started to think, what had I forgotten that they had found in my background check? What in my 62 years, what had they turned up that, well, that wasn't the case at all. It just took a long time because there's tons of people applying for it, people that never had before and never even considered it. I'm going to refer you to my Guns Not Politics video, which explains my understanding of why this explosion is occurring. I'm trying to remain politics free on this channel, so I'm not coming down on one side or the other here. I'm just saying that no one is served. The process is woefully lacking in accomplishing anything, quite frankly. And that was my experience in getting my concealed carry permit. So I am now a legal. Another thing that I should mention, nowhere during this process was I asked or expected to show that I had ever fired a weapon in my lifetime, if I had ever seen one, or held one, or loaded one. Nowhere in the process was that a consideration. It just didn't matter. That was not important in this process. I find that a little bit bizarre. I can't imagine giving the keys to a car to a person who had never seen a car, never put a key into, didn't know where the ignition key went, and tell them to get on the highway and go pick up some groceries and come home. I wouldn't do that. I don't think you would either. I doubt it. Maybe you would. If that's, hello. If that's you, more power to you. But I would not do that. I would expect them to have some kind of understanding of how turning this wheelie thing would make the car go in one direction or the other, and that little pedal at the bottom would make you stop, and the other one would make you go. Details, you know, little stuff. But you're not required to have any of that knowledge. It's not asked of you in the process of being able to carry a weapon in a public place, which to me undermines your own personal safety and the safety of everybody around you. That's I don't think that's a political position. Um, it just doesn't seem political to me. It just seems human. But that's where I come down on it, and that was my experience in getting my concealed carry permit. I am now a legal concealed carrier, and I've shot a weapon. I know the safety rules of firing a handgun, and I take them somewhat seriously. I hope all the people that are running out and getting these permits are doing the same. That's my only wish. If you liked this video, like it, subscribe to the channel, and bing, ring the bell, because I'm going to have a lot more coming up, and I hope you want to come back and share it with me. Leave comments down below, for or against what I'm saying here. It doesn't matter. I'm interested in hearing what you have to say. This is supposed to be a dialogue. I do want to thank some of the people that have been leaving comments and have gotten something out of some of the videos that I've done, and have given me some constructive criticism about some of my videos that have really helped me and helped to make this channel better. So contribute to it. Add a comment. Let me know what you're thinking, and I'll try to respond. So until the next time, when we meet here on Get on Target with Link, see ya.